Righto guys, pretty common crack for a H-series Kingswood right the way through. It's that bolt there on the inner guard. It cracks right out. So I've just cut a patch out. About to weld that in. I'll just quickly show you what they usually look like. Pull them out. That's an old one, and they usually crack and move around and do all that sort of good stuff. So I'll get into welding that. I'll tack it. Then I'll have to pull it all apart and weld it properly. Righto, so that's tacked in. Quite happy with that. The edges are okay. The left-hand edge there is slightly pronounced, but that's hidden under the guard up the top, so I'll be able to unbolt that now. That can stay like that for the rest of the day, I reckon, while I set up the other guard maybe. See how we go. And there's a couple other things I've got to weld up. Get back to it. Righto guys, I've got the inner guard out now. I'll just turn the camera around. I'll show you that patch that I'm going to weld up. Should look... So there's that patch I welded earlier from underneath. I'm going to fill all these holes in, except for those bolt holes down there, of course. There's quite a few in this guard. A lot has been going on over the years, I suppose. But especially with these mud flaps, you know, your mud flap falls out. So let's buy another one and drill another set of holes. What do you reckon? I guess that's what you done back in the old days. I must admit I'd done it myself. Alright, get back into it. Righto guys, achieved a lot. Doesn't look like much on camera, but we've done a hell of a lot today. I've finished this guard off. So all my holes have been filled in. Smoothed it all out. So that should come up a treat when it goes back in. I've started doing my template to extend that guard out. That'll be bolt on, bolt off, just to cover and make it look nice and neat and a little bit showy, I suppose. It's taken a bit of work, but anyway, that's what I want to do. And then my next step tomorrow is going to be sitting these in the guard. Now I'm going to do a detailed video of that. Just so happens, mate of mine turned up in his Sandman panel van, and I was able to get as close as possible the measurements off the side. So if you are thinking of doing it, I've got the measurements. I've written them all down. I'll put them on the guards so you guys can stop the video, do whatever you like, check it all out. There's my measurements there. I'll show you where I'm putting the tape. I'll show you how I'm going to cut that so I can sit it in there nicely and then cut the guard. Then I'll tack it in. I'm not going to show you a great deal on how to weld. I think everybody knows how to weld and how not to create too much heat, and I think everybody, if they're like me, they know how to blow a hole in the steel as well and then repair it. But I'll start that video tomorrow. So I've got my guard off, nice flat surface to work with. Now that there is exactly where it's got to sit. You can just see I've just got it in the corner of the tapes. So the corner of those tapes, like that one there, is the very corner of that. And the top one is the very corner of that, which is as close to the measurements as I could possibly get. I ended up measuring 2 cars, and they were within 5 mil. So I've split the difference. Now I'm going to need to trim this right down. So I'll probably trim it right down here, like that. And then probably right about there. Trim it down. There's no need for me to weld this whole plate in. The plate itself, they're nowhere near the shape of the guard. Not even close. So I'll get rid of this. I'll get rid of this little folded edge. Will give me a little bit more of a chance to mould that to the guard before I weld it in. So anyway, I'll get cutting. Righto, I've just trimmed this one down, cleaned it up. You'll notice that I've rounded the edges. Now, I watched a video once and it's stuck in my mind that if you're welding, if you weld around corners, you won't get as much distortion in the steel. Don't know how true it is because I'm not a welder. I'm a fucking plumber. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I'll put this one on top of that one. You'll see the size difference that I've cut out. I can't see any reason why I need all this material. And my belief, tell me if I'm wrong, leave a comment, make sure you subscribe. But the closer to this fold I can get the welds, obviously not right on there, the stronger that steel's going to be and the better it's going to keep shape. Let's see how we go. Righto, so I've got my mark. I know where these corners are meant to be. So I'll get this close. No need to be perfect at the moment. And I'll subscribe close to what I got. No need to be fussy because I'm going to come in 5mm on this anyway. That's if you can see it. Let me move that around. Anyway, here's the... Right, I've ground them all down. Now I'm ready to start marking and trimming this. You'll notice I've got rid of my marks down this area, down the bottom. But I kept those ones up there. I haven't ground the top of that one yet. That is so I can still line my plate up. Then what I'll do is I'll mark this. I'll cut it. Then I'll grind that one. Then I'll cut that top section. So there we go. Okay, prepared both guards, both sides of the guards. Nice rounded corners. Look at this, a beautiful rust-free guard. Now it'll be a beautiful rust-free GTS guard. So that's ready to start sitting in there and get a couple tacks on it, I reckon. Righto, I've got it sitting in there nicely. If I breathe on it, it'll fall all the way through. So my gaps are really nice. It's still distorted, so as I tack it, I'm just going to have to hammer and dolly it, try and get it around to the right shapes to suit the guard itself. But that should look good. Cheaper and easier than buying the new one, I can tell you. Righto, so she's all tacked in there now. Nicely, everything's bloody pretty beautiful, smooth right the way through. fuck all. So this is going to take me a little while to weld up because I don't want to put any heat into it whatsoever. I'll get back to you after that.